friends joining us from the West Coast, good morning. I am Dr. Michael McGovern, Chief Medical Officer of the University Eye Center at SUNY College of Optometry, and it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to the white coat ceremony for the class of 2023. Today's program is being live streamed via Facebook and is also being recorded. To get the ceremony started, I invite our president, Dr. David Heath, to present his opening remarks.
Good afternoon, everybody. I like the way that Dr. McGovern needed to cue you to clap. You got to get much more natural, like Colbert. Anyway, good afternoon, and certainly I'm pleased to welcome everybody to the college's 2021 White Coat Ceremony. And I also would like to particularly welcome the members of our students' families and friends, and are pleased that you're able to join us, albeit virtually. So first, let me congratulate each of you, members of the class of 2023, upon the completion of your first 2 years here at the college. These 2 years prepared you to receive your white coat and become more engaged with our patients. Indeed, this is a celebration of your maturation as a healthcare provider and your acceptance as a responsible member of our healthcare team. I'm particularly pleased that we're able to gather here together in person. I know that certainly in May, when this was supposed to originally have occurred, things were a bit more tenuous, and it's simply wonderful that we are making progress against the pandemic, and that we are able to be here together today. Now, this year's ceremony is, of course, as everybody knows, coming at a new time in our history. We're moving towards a post-pandemic world, albeit with some bumps and some variants. But it is a time in which healthcare practices are evolving within a new context, a new reality, a new normal, which is going to be with us for a long time. And indeed, it's a context in which all aspects of our lives seem to be intertwined with public health and healthcare behaviors. There's a context within which population health and healthcare disparities are ever-present challenges in part of our daily conversation and lives. It is a context that highlights the importance of our roles, your roles, as care providers, our responsibility to the community, which blurs the lines between our professional and personal lives. We find that even off-duty, we are on duty. And it's because of this context, perhaps more than any previous class, that at this stage of training, your understanding of your responsibility as a future optometrist and as a current member of the healthcare team is deep, and your awareness of the link between health and the quality of life will forever be an important part of the care that you provide. When you, traditionally, this ceremony does signify your nascent role as a member of the healthcare team, and it does recognize that you're ready for sharing the responsibility for the care of the patient. And I know you are ready, probably more than ready. I would ask that when you recite and affirm your commitment through the Optometric oath, I want to highlight a single line, and that is, I affirm that the health of my patient will be my first consideration. As a member of the healthcare team, you're going to continue to learn. You are a student, and you are going to learn in an incredible healthcare environment. But at this point, you can never forget that it isn't just about you. It's patient first. So this event signifies a new beginning, a new phase in your development as care providers. And while emphasizing a deep and significant responsibility to the communities we serve, I have great faith that you'll rise to the occasion and assume these responsibilities with commitment and perhaps more critically, with compassion. In a closing and lighter note, I'd like to share a conversation I had a couple of years ago. Actually, this class, I'm trying to think. The pandemic hit, so you probably never had dining with the docs. I'm looking for any sign of recognition. No. There's a program, Dining with Docs, whereby you can sort of go out with different doctors and just have a casual conversation. And I was in one of those back in 2019 before the pandemic. And we were speaking about the white coat ceremony because it was in April, just before this ceremony. And I was informed by the students, that while the white coat was a very important symbol of passage, they were just as excited to be getting rid of the blue one. So in closing, I want to congratulate you on your donning of the white coat and your discarding of the blue. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Dr. Heath. So now you're in for a treat, actually. I would like to now share with you the history of the white coat and how it became the powerful symbol it is today. The white lab coat, a ubiquitous sight in almost every healthcare setting, at least pre-COVID. How did the practice start? Why do we wear them? What's the significance to patients? And who exactly is McGovern's favorite superhero? These are the questions. So let's take a deep dive. The white coat ceremony is actually a relatively new occurrence. The first full-fledged ceremony was held right here in New York at Columbia University's College of Physicians and Surgeons in 1993. Since that time, it has grown in popularity and has become an annual ritual at health profession schools around the country and the world. I would like to now share a few words about the coat itself, the history, the symbolism, and the responsibility that comes with it. I will venture a guess that many of you, particularly those of you around my age and older, will recognize the gentleman on the left. He was a character on a very popular 1970s TV series set in the late 19th century. Dr. Hiram Baker was the only physician in the small town of Walnut Grove in the Little House on the Prairie series. You will notice he is dressed almost entirely in black, the typical garb of physicians at that time. And here is a very famous 1875 painting by American artist Thomas Akins titled The Gross Clinic. You will again notice the attire of the physicians, completely in black, not to mention the obvious lack of any infection control measures or use of universal precautions. Prior to the late 1800s, seeking medical advice was a last resort and rarely benefited the patient. It usually consisted of worthless cures, led to subsequent infections, and was frequently a precursor to death. So an encounter with a physician was seen as a formal and often morbid occurrence, hence the black attire. Unlike medicine, science was held in very high esteem, and scientists were more respected than physicians. This started to change for medicine in the second half of the 19th century. In 1860, French chemist and biologist Louis Pasteur theorized that invisible germs caused infections. It's incredible to think that that was just 160 years ago. In 1865, 5 years later, British surgeon Joseph Lister pioneered the idea of sterile surgery and introduced antisepsis, one of the most important breakthroughs in medical history. And in 1901, Army physician Walter Reed confirmed that mosquitoes transmitted yellow fever during the construction of the Panama Canal. It was discoveries like these that moved medicine from the realm of mysticism and quackery to bioscience, and medical providers started to wear white, symbolic of the importance of cleanliness, but more importantly, it emphasized the transition to a more scientific approach to modern medicine. The practice of wearing white would culminate with physicians adopting the most recognizable symbol of science, the white laboratory coat. Here is another famous painting by Thomas Akins from 1889 titled The Agnew Clinic. It captures another surgical scene just 14 years after the original, with the physicians now obviously all in white gowns and coats. Over the past 120 years, the white coat has become a powerful and meaningful symbol for patients, one of compassion, trust, and hope, that the wearer will use their training and resources to treat and heal them. When you re-enter the clinic wearing your white lab coat over your royal blue scrubs, patients will likely immediately treat you differently than they did when you were in the blue coats. And while their level of respect will probably be greater, so too will their expectations. Never overlook or underestimate the power of the symbolism society has bestowed upon the white lab coat. Receiving your white coat is such an important milestone in your journey toward becoming doctors that as part of this ceremony, you will also recite the Optometric oath. and commit yourselves to the highest standards of our profession, accepting the responsibilities, the obligations, and the sacrifices that go with the privilege of practicing optometry and caring for patients. Never forget, with great power comes great responsibility, a wise man once said. Congratulations. So there you have it. And let's face it, if the white coat is ever a category on Jeopardy, you should all be in pretty good shape. Our next speaker is Dr. Suresh Swaminathan, Chair of Department of Biological and Vision Sciences. He will be discussing the first 2 years of your education, the largely preclinical experience necessary to create a solid scientific foundation.
Sorry, I was late. The last time I wore this was 2 years ago at this ceremony, so I was still looking for it. So, congratulations to the class for your transition from the classroom into the clinic. You've already transitioned in. It's been a while. And it's been a tough year, and you've all persevered. And congratulations again for that. While today is the next step in the logical sequence towards you becoming a doctor, remember that your education is not over yet. It will continue for another 2 years until you get the degree, and thereafter for the rest of your professional career. So I would like to remind you that the knowledge that you've gained from all of the didactic coursework up to now, that you've had in basic as well as in clinical sciences, this will form the foundation for your current and all of your future clinical experiences. So while it may not be as obvious to all of you, this foundational knowledge contributes to a lot to discipline and rigor of your thinking skills, your ability for logical reasoning, critical appraisal, problem solving, all of which are essential qualities in a good doctor. So you've already had some practice through the didactic work and all the quizzes that you have. And also, you will need this as you get into continuing education learning in this field of ever-expanding knowledge. So congratulations again. And before I leave, I always like to remind the students, keep reviewing all your materials from year 1 and 2. National Boards is around the corner, and it's never too early to start.
Thank you, Dr. Swaminathan. Dr. Richard Madonna, Chair of the Department of Clinical Education, will now discuss the student-clinician transition as your focus shifts from the classroom to the clinic.
Class of 2023, I'm sorry I can't be present to share this day with you. Congratulations from the Department of Clinical Education on reaching this important milestone. Let's take a step back and recognize what this day truly signifies as I see it. For much of your lives, your thoughts and goals have centered on you. What college will I attend? Will I get into SUNY? How did I do on that last exam or assessment? This ceremony signifies that all this has changed. From this point forward, when you are in the exam room, your priority should be one thing: the patient, the person in that exam chair. That person has entrusted you with their vision and their health. They've shared privileged information about themselves and their family. They've asked you to care for them. So when you're having one of those days, when you're running behind, when your supervisor is providing you with feedback that you feel is unjust, when you have to code, bill, chart, examine, assess, and you wonder whether you can get through the day, think about that person. And if you could say to yourself, you have given them everything you've got, that you've bettered their lives in some way, then you will have had a successful day. The faculty of the Department of Clinical Education is here to guide you through these rapidly changing times. And we pledge to offer you clinical experiences in the University Eye Center that are dynamic, progressive, and enriching. The department has chosen externship sites for your fourth year that provide a diversity of experiences across the breadth and scope of optometric care. Our goal is to enable you to graduate with the skills needed to practice independent, contemporary optometry. And I have no doubt we will do that. However, we can't do it alone. You must recognize that you are also responsible for your growth and development. And if you accept that responsibility, you not only will succeed, but you will excel in our exceptional program. My hope is that your white coat will remind you of the very special place you'll have in the lives of your patients and their families, and your opportunity to make a difference in those lives. Please don't forget that. Congratulations to all of you from me and from the department.
Thank you, Dr. Madonna. The Optometric Center of New York, the OCNY, is the affiliated foundation of the SUNY College of Optometry to bring greetings and congratulations on behalf of the OCNY board, as well as the Alumni Association, who generously gifted the white lab coats you will be receiving today. I invite OCNY President and fellow alumnus, Dr. Richard Soden, to the podium.
Congratulations, everybody. Greetings from the trustees of the Optometric Center and the Alumni Association Board. Both of these organizations support you throughout the 4 years that you're going to be at SUNY College of Optometry. Today, as president of the OCNY and alumnus of the college, I want to congratulate you on this special day of transitioning from a study of preclinical optometry to that of clinical optometry. Your white coat will serve as a symbol of your commitment to professionalism, responsibility, compassion, and humanism. Each of you should have received a label to sew into your white coat. And since I can't read your small labels anymore, I just decided to come up with this large print version of it, which says SUNY Optometry Alumni Association has your back. Every time you wear the white coat and see the label, remember two important items. You are pledging to serve as a doctor of optometry in an honorable way, and that SUNY Alumni Association and the Optometric Center of New York Foundation are here to support you. Thank you, congratulations, and good luck.
Thank you, Dr. Soden. Back in January, the next speaker and I started the planning of today's ceremony. He has put in countless hours and great effort to ensure that your class would have a wonderful and memorable white coat experience, and he did a tremendous job representing the interests of the class. He may have a touch of white coat syndrome from the whole experience, but it was a pleasure working closely with him these past 6 months. I know his family, including his mom, Kim, and his grandmother, Edna, is joining us via Facebook today from the great state of Colorado, and they should be very proud of this amicable and hardworking young man. I invite class president, intern Travis Pfeiffer, to the podium to deliver his remarks.
Hi everyone. How's it going today? You guys good? I got everyone. So for the people at home, the only appropriate response to that question, you guys good, is overjoyed. I'm just so happy to see all of you here. It's the first time, second time, we're not counting the midterm, that we've been together in about 1.5 years. And what a 1.5 years that has been. During that time, we were described as resilient more times than I can count. So many times it lost its meaning. Just to remind everyone, it means able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult circumstances. I can't think of something that encapsulates that meaning more than all of us coming to a new school, making so many friends, learning about apex to apex, the test distance divided by the distance at which the letters condense 5 minutes apart, and homes,
Only.
to then just becoming computer screens, just images on a screen in virtual optometry school for so long, and then coming back to be immediately thrown into clinic. So way to go, everyone, on that. Over our virtual year, we were also reminded that we needed to be flexible. And I can't think of anyone that represents that definition more than Brady, Bert, Ben Bernard, Barra, who took every new name bestowed upon him in stride. It really does feel like just yesterday, every morning at 8 a.m., Vina would be startled by Dr. Rapp checking his microphone. Or Tyler, I forget where Tyler is. Tyler won the most fierce competition of Dizzy PD to become the captain of our softball team, which I will point out remains undefeated in its history. Or, of course, Helen. Dr. Rosenfield announcing on the day of our OT final that our classmate had gone into labor. Congrats, we're happy. Everything went well. Can you remember the way that your body jolted when the door to the simulator room opened up and your name was called? Or the heaviness you could feel as you walked through the library, searching for someone to make a Dunkin' run during finals week? Or the sheer panic that set in when someone fogged up the phoropter during a competency? I don't miss these days, but overcoming these obstacles in the middle of a pandemic really does show that we can take on anything. How's that for resilience? Of course, we couldn't have done it without all the support of the amazing faculty and staff here at SUNY, and also a special shout out to Zach and Joanna, without whom we likely would not have attended a single lecture in the last year. Our journey here at SUNY hasn't been what I expected, but I'm happy I've got to share it all with you. I haven't met a group of people more ambitious, motivated, diligent, and empathetic than the one in front of me. This is a class to stand up for what's right, work to make things better, and lift each other up. I can't wait to see what these next 2 years have in store for us. And congrats again, 2023.
Thank you, Travis. So we are getting closer to the coding ceremony. Presenting our students this afternoon is Dr. David Troilo, the Vice President and Dean for Academic Affairs. Coding of a student, symbolizing this rite of passage and the trust being bestowed upon them to carry out the noble tradition of doctoring, will be performed by Dr. Diane Calderon, Chief of Primary Care, Dr. Daniela Rutner, Chief of Vision Rehabilitation, Dr. Jennifer Gould, Chief of Advanced Care, Dr. Eva Dushnowski, Section Chief of Contact Lens, Dr. Deborah Amster, Section Chief of Pediatrics, and Dr. Amy Steinway, Assistant Chief of Primary Care. Before the coding begins, I invite our Dean, Dr. David Troilo, to address the class.
Let me just offer my congratulations to the class on this prodigious milestone in your careers. Now you are about halfway through the program, and this day marks an important milestone in the transition for you as optometry students to doctors. You prepared for this day for years, and now you're on the threshold of your career in patient care. This is both a joyous and a solemn occasion. Joyous in that you have worked so hard for so long, but solemn in that your work continues and brings greater responsibility than you have ever known. Now you are responsible for the health and vision of others. It is no longer just about the grades and degree requirements. It is about putting what you've learned into practice on real patients who need your help and put their faith in you. So, as you come up to receive your white coat, please reflect on this ceremony as a reminder of what it means to be a healthcare professional, to always put your patients first, and always strive to provide them with the very best care. Continue to study hard and strive to be a true professional. Good luck with the rest of your program. And now, as I call your names, please come up and receive your white coat. Kira Ellen. Y. Chen. Jane Chen. Shilang Chen. Frank Cristello III. Tyler Yagosino. Leandra Debona. Caroline Donato. Elaine Doxtader. Natalie Dweeder. Saba Fareed. Amanda Fitzpatrick. Brendan Fu. Vera Garcieri. Christy Hamian. Ivana Hanna. William Huang. Rebecca Hong. Nusrat Jahan. Jonathan Jara. Sophia Johnson. Imran Khan. Nadia Khan. Michelle Kim. Ethan Kim. Rachel Kim. Eva Kowalczyk. Rand Lee. Suman Lee. Sarah Lee. Jeffrey Lin. Adelena Linsky. Catherine Gordon. Christina Marcelli. Salima Mashikri. Jenny Matthew. Karen Matthew. Rashi Mathur. Heather Min. Mary Nagelberg. Juan No. Jasmine Narabi. Eden Nurmai. Ivy Ham. Asha Parekh. Leslie Park. Prino Patel. Nesha Patel. Travis Pfeiffer. Nissim Pelosi. Helen Rabin. Ellen Wren. Rodriguez. Jacob Rosenberg. Norm Shaw. Nina Shimino. Sarah Shea. Agatha Sloboda. Sasha Sterling. Hannah Stevens. Catherine Sue. Nazia Tahia. Anson Tan. Georgina Sarkios. Raj Mediba. Ashley Walker. Max Williger. Joanna Wong. Rumal Yakub. Seyuj Zachariah. Hardy Zhao. Zach Slatton. Alicia Zoll. And last but not least, Kelly Christensen. Congratulations, class of 2023. Do well, be well, stay well.
Thank you to Dr. Troy Lewin, to the Chiefs. I'd love to be one of the first to congratulate the class on meeting this very significant milestone in your journey toward becoming doctors. So congratulations, everyone. I now ask that the class please stand, and that I invite intern Hira Alum, SUNY American Optometric Student Association trustee, and Jacob Rosenberg, the New York State Optometric Association Student Chapter President, to come forward and lead the class in the recitation of the Optometric Oath. I also invite all optometrists present to rise, standing side by side with our young colleagues, and join in reciting the solemn oath of our profession, which can be found on the back cover of our programs.
Thank you, Dr. McGovern. I would just like to ask everyone to raise their right hand, please, and just to turn to the back of the program and hold that in your left hand, and we'll get started together. With full deliberation, I freely and solemnly pledge that I affirm that the health of my patient will be my first consideration. I will practice the art and science of optometry faithfully and conscientiously and to the fullest scope of my competence. I will uphold and honorably promote by example and action the highest standards, ethics, and ideals of my chosen profession, and the honor the degree Doctor of Optometry, which has been granted me. I will provide professional care for the diverse populations who seek my services with concern, with compassion, and with due regard for their human rights and dignity. I will work to expand access to quality care and improve health equity for all communities. I will place the treatment of those who seek my care above personal gain and strive to see that none shall lack for proper care. I will hold as privileged and invaluable all information entrusted to me in confidence by my patients. I will advise my patients fully and honestly of all which may serve to restore, maintain, or enhance their vision and general health. I will strive continuously to broaden my knowledge and skills so that my patients may benefit from all new and efficacious means to enhance the care of human vision. I will share information cordially and unselfishly with my fellow doctors of optometry and other professionals for the benefit of patients and the advancement of human knowledge and welfare. I will do my utmost to serve my community, my country, and humankind as a citizen as well as a doctor of optometry. I hereby commit myself to be steadfast in the performance of this my solemn oath and obligation.
Everyone can please have a seat. Thank you, Hira and Jacob. Every year I ask the class to decide on a faculty member that they would like to ask to do the toast for the class. And I suggested them that they choose someone who has had a significant impact on their education and on their professional development. I must admit I am most pleased with their choice this year, as the faculty member chosen was actually one of my favorite doctors when I was a student. However, I should point out that she was an extremely young doctor at that time. I can't think of a more deserving person to give this honor to.
Hi, class. No filter this time. Although I can't be there in person, I still wanted to send my congratulations. I am incredibly proud of you. I know how challenging it has been for you to get to this point. During this past year, you have demonstrated strength, courage, resilience, and compassion that is unmatched in previous years. You inspired me to stay strong. As you start your journey in caring for patients, I want you to continue to go forth with courage and compassion. By being empathetic, you'll be able to connect with your patients, and at the end of the day, you'll know that you had a positive impact on their lives. Trust me, what you give to your patients will come back to you tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold. Connecting with your patients is a secret to loving what you do each and every day. To the family and friends out there, mom, dad, grandparents, spouses, fiancés, children, siblings, family and friends, and pets, they could not have gotten to this point without your love and support. I may have taught them something about optometry, but you were the ones that taught them about love, patience, kindness, and compassion. And you did a wonderful job. Thank you. You raised them well, mom and dad. Class of 2023, I have a question for you. Are you ready to take on the responsibility of caring for patients? Okay, let's do that again. Okay, one more time. I want to be able to hear you from California. Class of 2023, are you ready and willing to take on the challenge and the tremendous responsibility of caring for patients? Yes! Travis, are you ready with the confetti?
I'm ready.
So let's do a countdown. Count with me, everyone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
like drinks maybe on Natalie tonight, if she was one of that. That's terrific. It's such heartfelt words from Terry Lowe, who's just a great person all around. To close our program this afternoon and offer our congratulations to the class, the Vice President for Clinical Administration and the Executive Director of the University Eye Center, Ms. Lidovina Martinez-Gonzalez.
Congratulations. It was great to see a photo montage of your class as part of the celebration of this milestone. My name is Lidovina Martinez-Gonzalez, and I am the Vice President for Clinical Administration and the Executive Director of the University Eye Center. I'm honored to be part of this ceremony today, and I'd like to thank all our speakers for sharing their words of wisdom and encouragement. I hope that their words reinforce what a true privilege it is to be part of the optometric profession and what an amazing and rewarding journey you have ahead of you. The transition from the classroom to the clinical setting is a significant event, and I look forward to your full involvement in providing care to our patients. Our faculty, your parents, significant others, and friends have provided you with guidance, support, and encouragement along the way. You've made it through a time of unprecedented changes and have successfully done so through a lot of hard work and resiliency. We are all very proud of your accomplishments thus far and look forward to seeing your continued growth in the next 2 years and beyond. I hope that today's ceremony not only marks another milestone in your career, but that it offered you a memorable program filled with heartfelt sentiments about the past 2 years, as well as a challenge to you to be the best that you can be in your role as a healthcare provider. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. McGovern for putting this ceremony together. He worked closely with your class president over the last several months in preparation for this event, and I commend his leadership and commitment to our students. Again, my congratulations to the class and best wishes to you as you begin your 3rd year. This concludes the program for today. Thank you for joining us. But before we do so, please join me in a round of applause for the class of 2023.